Check, check. We good? Alright, I'm Owen, or Clutch, bringing in some banger content. My apologies for the lack of uploads the last couple of weeks. I have been trying to get my Twitch stream up and running, and now, as far as I know, it's working pretty damn good. So with that being said, in today's video, we're going to talk about my first time doing a dab. And yes, just one dab, that's all I did. Also go and follow my socials, links are down in the description below. Now without further ado, let's get into today's video. So this one was a bit rough for me, alright, I'll be honest, a little bit rough. So it all started off, you know, the boys were all gonna hang out over at Sam's house. You guys probably remember Sam from a previous video, you know, he's probably gonna show up here a few more times. And that is his real name, you know, because, you know, this guy, he don't give a fuck, alright? He does not care. He wants all the fucking clout, alright? This man's a fucking G, he's one of the homies, you know, love this dude, alright? So it was Sam, let's call him, I can't remember what I called him in another video, but let's say Sam, Brad, and let's say Josh, alright? So Sam, Brad, and Josh and I, right? We're all gonna go link up at Sam's house. His parents were out of town for the night. So the plan was we're just gonna, you know, smoke up, you know, and, you know, do some dabs, because Brad actually got a hold of some, and we were gonna go do some because they bought a new rig or whatever, new dab rig and shit for it. So it was gonna be my first time, and I was kind of pumped for it, you know what I mean? It felt like it was gonna be a cool little different experience rather than just like smoking bongs or like ripping joints, right? So I show up at Sam's house, right? His parents are gone. The boys are already sessioning because I got off work, right? Most of this shit is always after work, right? I always just go over to the boys' house after a long, hard-ass day at work and go have me some fun, right? So get to Sam's house, right? Brad and Josh were both just chilling or whatever. They were both fucking rote as fuck, alright? Nobody had gotten into the dabs yet as far as I know. I don't think they did. But after that, after I showed up, you know, we started getting into it a little bit, right? So I'd smoked a couple bongs prior to this, right? And then we went out for a hot tub. So Sam's got this hot tub outside. It's got these cool LEDs and shit. You know, we're baked. We're like, all right, we're loving it, right? So we just got mossed out there for a little bit. Got in the hot tub, just a little quickie, right? Just, you know, we were out there for like maybe 20 minutes or so, right? Just kind of mossing in the hot tub. And then after that, we got out. We're like, all right, boys, let's get dressed. Let's get these dabs rolling, right? We're like, all right, bet. So we go inside, and we start getting the shit all set up or whatever in his fucking living room, right? Because parents were home, so we really didn't give that much of a fuck. I think we had a smoke, but I think it was a homemade one, right? You know, like the toilet paper roll and like elastics and like dryer sheets or whatever. You know, we had one of those going. So I guess that was the whole plan for that. So I was already pretty fucking cooked, right? So first, Sam did his, right? He did a pretty big one, man. I'm not even gonna lie, man. Like, not a huge gram or anything like that, but, you know, it was pretty big for what I knew. I just knew that I wanted a small one just to kind of test her out a little bit, right? So they picked me off this little piece, right? And, man, it looked like a little speck, all right? Like, this shit was small, right? So I was like, all right, I'm probably not even gonna feel this, right? They told me, like, 20 minutes, right? It's a bit of a come up, and it's a bit more intense than, like, when you're actually, like, just smoking, like, just straight, like, herb, right? So they set it up for me, right? They heated up that bottom piece of the bowl, I guess, or whatever, the nail, I guess is what it's called, is the nail. So they heated that up or whatever. They put the dab in, and then I just, you know, started sucking, right? I started playing around with it or whatever, and then I put the cap on and rotated that around a little bit, right? And, you know, pulled it off. I got it all. I inhaled it all, right? Held it in for a sec, blew it out, regular shit. And I was like, all right, bet. Like, that was not a big deal, man. It kind of tasted cool, right? It's a little bit different. I was kind of enjoying it, right? Well, now, so first 5 minutes or so, I was kind of vibing. I was like, all right, bet. Like, this hasn't really done much, right? It's just kind of like a cool, like, I don't know, it's kind of a cool little come up. And then let's say 20 minutes in, right? Like, you know, 15, maybe 20 minutes into it, it hits me, and I'm stuck on the couch. Alright, this one little tiny little speck, right? This little speck of fucking dab. And I'm absolutely, like, stuck to the couch, man. Like glue, alright? Like, I wasn't getting up. Right? So 20 minutes in, I'm not moving. I'm like, boys, I'm posted, alright? I'm fucking posted. I'm not moving. Let's watch the show. I'm chilling, right? So they throw on some Family Guy or whatever. We start watching that. And the visuals for me just kind of went nutty, right? Like, I know you don't get visuals like you do like psychedelics, right, when you're stoned, but I mean, like, just the colors and the way that shit was moving when we were watching Family Guy, I was so, like, it was kind of tripping me out, not even gonna lie. I was sketching the fuck out. Alright? So I started sketching out, and I was like, well, fuck. So I'm like, alright, boys, I gotta go take a dump. I'll be back, right? So I didn't really have to go take a shit, but I just kind of wanted to be alone, right? Just to kind of just chill out and just kind of, you know, in my own head and just kind of relax. So what I did is I actually laid in the bathtub, alright? I laid in the bathtub in Sam's washroom and started watching Nelk, alright? I threw on the new Nelk video, right? And I watched that. It was like a 20-minute video. And I think it was the one of them getting, like, pranking the cops with the Coke in the back, like the Coca-Cola, right? I'm pretty sure that's a video that I watched, and it just came out then. So I don't know how long ago that one came out, but that's about the time that this, you know, took place, right? So I was sitting there for about 20 minutes, right? They knocked on the door a couple times to make sure that I wasn't, like, fucking throwing up or something, and I wasn't. I was tripping out. You guys are probably sitting there like, oh, Clutch, man, I do dabs all the fucking time, and it was like, yeah, you know what, my first one, man, I was a little bit, it hit me, right? It caught me a little off guard, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a bit rough, right? It was a bit of a rocky ride, all right? So after about the 20-minute video, right, it kind of comes to, like, you know, you peak and you kind of on that come down. You're in a nice spot, right? A nice level of you know, elevatedness, if you will, all right? I know it's not even a fucking word, but whatever, we're using elevatedness, all right? And I was vibing at that point, right? So I come out of the bathroom, boys like, oh, did you throw up? And I'm like, no, I didn't fucking throw up. I went in there, laid in your bathtub, watched a fucking Nog video. What do we got going on now? And actually, Brad had rolled up a fat blunt for the boys, all right? A fat blunt for the boys. Like, the most perfect blunt I have ever fucking seen, all right? Now, I don't know how he did it, because I was in the washroom the whole entire fucking time, right? Tripping balls or whatever. And I come out and see this just magical blunt in front of my eyes, right? And I'm like, you know what? Tonight's going to be a good fucking night, all right? So we go outside, right? Because we're not smoking this blunt in the house, right? It's one thing to hit some dabs in this. We're not smoking a blunt in the house. So what we decided to do is go for a nice little stroll, right? There was a park nearby, so we walked in the park, and we just all shared this fucking fat ass, you know, blunt, right? We smoked that up. We headed back into Sam's house, and, you know, we kind of just ended the night off playing some Minecraft. That's what we were doing back then. We had a little round made up for the boys, and we were building our houses and breeding our sheep and all that bullshit, right? And yeah, that's kind of what happened in the story, man. Like, that's really all that happened that night. I kind of tripped out a little bit on the dab, and, you know, all in all, it was a good night at the end of it, right? So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm Owen or Clutch. Peace.